Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Monday to you. It's July 22nd, 2024. Hope you had an amazing weekend, at least Sunday, since I last talked to you on Saturday. Hell, at this point, I hope you had a great Monday too, because it's pretty late and it probably won't post till Tuesday. So in that case, I'm already wishing you a powerful Tuesday as well. All in all, I hope that you're doing just swell wherever you are. Okay. All right, we're still riding high on that full moon energy, so keep governing yourselves accordingly. And I'm wondering how you're doing with it all. Definitely been in prayer and meditation and proclamation for the highest good of all, for all. So I pray that you receive that intention for yourself, and however it's meant for you to do so. All right, let's see what we got here. Page of Wands. Interesting. You know, there are very few times when I get low suit cards. Not to say like the Page of Wands is particularly low in vibration or anything, but all this to say is that it's been the Page of Wands whenever I do start with a lower number or a lower suit, you know, not one of the majors, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. Pardon me. Each and every time it's been the Page of Wands for the past couple of weeks. So this is really emphasizing some new beginnings, which is so in alignment with where we are even through this full moon and coming out of it, is really preparing ourselves to embark on a new adventure, you know, to kind of be that thrill-seeking, childlike energy that is excited about new discovery from the inside out, the outside in, all the way around, getting ready to perceive of yourself something different than you ever had before. You know, maybe your creativity is getting a refresh, or there's new inspiration coming to you about advancing, you know, maybe new inspiration about old ideas, you know, to advance your purpose and your path that much further. It's definitely a high-spirited card, though. By and large, it is. It's good news, it's inspiration, it's an opportunity, maybe a message, again, like something that, an aha moment that seems to be simple, maybe not as big of an aha as, say, the Ace of Wands, where it like damn near hits you over the head. It could be something a bit more subtle than that. Maybe even simple on sight, but I would say with the Page of Wands, there's always great potential there. And then we got the Seven of Wands, which is standing your ground, maybe even protecting that energy about yourself. You know, to protect, what are we protecting? I feel like it's like protecting your enthusiasm. That's what we're guarding here, especially from the past whether it be past projections, past connections, past ideas, and old conditionings, even old emotional dependencies. So it's standing your ground, and it's like protecting the innocence of your passion. Now that gives me another energy too. Ooh, and with the moon card. Yeah, because sorry. There could be some energy that would want to project. This is definitely projections, illusions, and certainly of an emotional or even psychological nature that would want to project a fear to obstruct this opportunity here, almost to kind of like rain on your parade, or to curb your enthusiasm from even feeling hopeful about a new beginning if it hasn't presented itself yet, or to feel safe and secure to openly receive it as it is, as something good, as something, progressive even. Especially when it comes in the form of the Page of Wands, which could, as I said, could be something simple, could even be like unassuming, or what's the right word? Like I said, it's not something that would necessarily hit you over the head like the Ace of Wands. Like you wouldn't be able to miss that message. It could be something more subtle than that, which is why it could even be more vulnerable to attack or to be poached, or for there to be a projection to disregard it as menial or meaningless. Something about that here to be thoughtful of, not because of any danger per se, because it seems like for whatever, and in any regard, you're already kind of on guard with the Seven of Wands. So you're already positioned to be protective. It's like you protecting your inner child. So yeah, we got this full moon still going, that and Mercury retrograde, pre-shadow, and Saturn in retro. So that's just giving way to the reality that there could be a resurgence of past cycles, maybe even toxic connections or codependent. How can I say this? Like triggering, there it is, triggers from old cycles, seasons, or even connections. People, places, and things, let's just keep it general, that would want to ultimately impale, I guess is the word, this progressive position of passion, where you're looking forward to life. You're excited by what's to come, whether it's here in material form yet or not, which for most and many it is in some way, shape, or form. Like I said, this could even be, a new inspiration for an old idea, which means that you already possess this passion. This just could be a surge of inspiration to kind of push it over the edge a bit. or to materialize it in a new way. And being at the threshold of that is powerful. It doesn't look like it is as the page, but that's exactly the point, is that small little nudge of enthusiasm and even confidence. And when we're talking about the Page of Wands, we're talking about an innocence of enthusiasm where it's almost like a reset from what you may have been conditioned to feel or believe about your creativity. Where, oh, this is deep. Where whatever it is could have been, repressed once upon a time, whether it was misunderstood, rejected, how else can I say it? Disregarded, even unappreciated, devalued, whatever it is that may be, that could have been the experience once upon a time that did have a deep psychological and even emotional impact, which ultimately did what? Affect your confidence and your ambition and drive to pursue it, to activate it, initiate it, or to carry it out, like to be persistent in whatever that expression was. Whereas you might have started something and stopped because you didn't necessarily get the support or the fanfare or the understanding, that you would have, that would have ultimately helped you along. Well, there's been a lot of growth since then to now. And the Page of Wands, again, I'm getting is really you, or perhaps, being well activated and equipped to protect that innocent and vulnerable inner child of you that could still be impressionable, mind you, still be impressionable by past triggers, in all the ways that I've already expressed it, if your defenses and your boundaries are not affirmed. But this Seven of Wands to me is saying that that's already in place. So there's already a security measure in place for exactly that thing, to protect the most vulnerable aspect of you. So my encouragement is that whatever that gets to be, you double down on it, because there's a reason. I mean, it's saying that it's already in place, and you're already, your defenses are already on alert. But the fact that it's showing up this way, even to affirm that much is true, is saying that there still is an intention lurking with the Six of Cups and the Moon card. That where you have your grounds pretty much covered still means that there's a reason for it. It's not just, you're not wasting your time, you're not wasting your energy to be on guard a certain type of way. Not necessarily defensive in an offensive way, like just wanting to fight any and everybody that got something to say or look at you the wrong way. Not like that, but just to know where your boundaries are and why they are. Hell, you don't even need to know the why. If you feel incited, because this is also intuition driven as well, if you feel a nudge to draw a certain boundary, then you have the authority to enforce that. Because yes, there is something delicate here, and it's you and your most raw and impressionable creativity here that is, it's like raw energy, which is, I mean, it's very precious. If it wasn't, it wouldn't have been preyed upon long time ago. In whatever way and shape and form that could be, because it doesn't have to be familial, even as the card suggests with the Six of Cups. It could be societal, it could be cultural, it could be religious. All of us in some way, shape, or form have had an impression made on or against our pure creative life force that we ultimately had to recover from and had to reaffirm and reestablish our authority over. We've all had that experience. It's just a matter of how we've responded to it respectively. And some folks that, more or less the projection comes, of which most of our protection is necessary, comes from those that never really got to the point of reasserting and reaffirming themselves over that influence and that impression to reestablish or establish altogether their authority over their creative power. Most of those projections come from those that have somehow learned to conform or to live in the contrast, whatever that means, but not to establish sovereign creativity. So therefore, anyone that does do that can kind of be provocative and as a threat, or a snub to someone's pride and ego, just on account of comparisons, So just be mindful that that's the energy out here with the moon card. And as I said, we're still under the moon energies. It has not dissipated just yet. And I was thinking earlier, right before, when I was in prayer and meditation, I was like, I don't know if this one is going to dissipate so much in three days. I mean, the most potent aspect of it for sure. But I feel like these may be themes of what's the right word? Like confrontation. No, it's more about closure. It may be confrontational from the outside in, or it may mean to be, or it may appear to take that form. But what it really is about closing the gap on those voids in our lives that have existed to make, to ultimately be pitfalls for our inner child, for this precious essence of us that ultimately is what is helping to push our creativity and our passions forward. It's the mix between that raw energy and the wisdom that we've acquired from our experiences working together to now, make some things happen, or to push your purposeful agenda beyond, where it's been before, or where it may have even been held into place at a time. Interesting. All right, let's see what we got. I'm gonna leave it there. Let's see what else. right, I'm gonna take them off. Let's see what this is. Now that came out in a bit of a struggle. Wow. We're gonna keep it in reverse, because that means it could be in the struggle, it could go either way, but it was pretty pronounced in contrast to how these fell. So let's see what we got here. Well, first off, we got a lack of success and progression here with the Chariot in reverse, or a struggle to progress, either way, where it's kind of in limbo. And I feel it's appropriate under the Six of Cups and the way that it's coming up in this moment for it to be a regressive experience. There must be something traumatic or perhaps even toxic about that that would impede progression. So we know that's a no-no. There's no amount of self-sacrificing worth it for the sake of nostalgia, obligation, sentimentality, even sympathy or empathy that would make this worth it for you to ultimately be stopped in your tracks from moving ahead in the purpose that has been designed for you. But the emergence of those energies, it seems to me, would be for the purposes of just that. To cause a disruption, a delay, or just an all-out, I would say like a defeat or a loss in this case. And then coupled with the Seven of Swords, it's like two energies almost closing in on this what? Now here it is, the Ace of Wands. This extreme surge of power and creativity, like an upgrade, a promotion, some advanced empowerment, supreme confidence, creativity, the purest of passion. Because this is great, because this is in fact the passion of that culmination of wisdom from experiences, and also raw enthusiasm or curiosity, or I don't know, there's something else I want to say about this Page of Wands. I keep saying raw because it's something about it being like almost untapped potential, certainly untainted. Yeah, because this is representative of what you would be without corruption, before the projections, before the interference, before maybe even some abuse, or it could be that extreme as well, or negligence. Projection is the most general thing, because that, to me, that kind of encompasses everything, because even when it's abuse, it's usually on account of some level of projection as well, just a bit more aggressive, or violent even. And this is given violence, especially the Seven of Swords with the Chariot overturned. That could be energies, to me, a bit too close for comfort still in your life, that have an agenda to keep you stuck. or to see you lose, or to see you, certainly to keep you stuck, because it's like somebody doesn't even want you to see, doesn't want you to even have the simplest of a come up or an advancement. Like, not even the smallest little bit of good news, for fear that it may just empower you that much more, because clearly this is the threat here, for you to advance or be enhanced by this ultimate power, this confidence that can't be shaken, that can't be corrupted, that really is not very delicate at all. The gotcha is that I'm feeling like, especially with it being aligned with the Seven of Wands, you already are that. This is what I'm getting, like, it's the appearance of it, you being in the Page of Wands, of which people think they can still address you or even confront you on this, challenge you on that level, and that you would somehow be, they would somehow have leverage over you, because either what they knew of you is this, the Page of Wands, like someone, I would say maybe naive, or impressionable. There was another word I heard, corruptible, easy to distract. These are the adverse energies that I'm getting between the Page of Wands and the Seven of Swords, of what the Seven of Swords would think of a Page of Wands to feel that they could get over on them. That you are weak. It's another word that I keep hearing, and it keeps coming and going. I said vulnerable, impressionable, naive, gullible, but naive is kind of the same thing. But gullible even has a different, because naive is like, I guess they're kind of the same, but gullible feels even more low frequency, as somebody feels like they could easily overpower you with the slightest distraction, or distract you and get off with your power, get off with your energy or whatever, or bully you into some level of exchange. Oh, okay. So that you would be so corruptible and easily provoked that it would leave your power up for grabs. Like, say, to almost anger you to defenselessness, and how that could look is like somebody poking, like luring you into a confrontation that really, would be a losing battle, quite honestly, because the way in which they're looking to lure you in is not for any resolve. There's probably not even really any point to move, to move forward or to come to an understanding, but just for the purposes of kind of like provoking you out of character, poking you where you be most triggered, back to that, to then ultimately extract as much of your vitality as they possibly can, not only in that moment, but then what that also does is has a residual effect on the confidence that you've been procuring, for most even already at this stage, but what you've been procuring to protect this inner child from that triggering. What could also happen is then you start to almost like beat yourself up and get down on yourself for being so easily provoked, so you start to condemn your own self, and then that's how they use your energy against you. Moon card, psychological psychic attacks. That's what we're talking about here, psychic attacks. But through your energetic force field. Trying to plug into you, first of all, where you're most potent, which is, like I said, that raw, vulnerable childhood energy, and also where you have the highest return, where they can extract the most, but through emotional attachments that could come through looking very innocent and very familiar. And like I said, non-threat, even like someone offering an olive branch or some term of endearment or even an apology. But with this energy here, it's aggressive and it's with all intention. It's abusive. I'm gonna just say that. It's aggressive and it's abusive. This is what they want. To take what you have worked for yourself, what they know you're protecting, or ultimately what is protecting you, because that could be the thing as well, like to lower that defensive confidence that more or less has become a shield for you at this point, that makes it harder to penetrate that inner child, that inner force field, the way it used to be easy to do so. Because you've had experience, because you've gained wisdom, because you have insight now, you have self-awareness now. You know how valuable you are despite a lack of validation or approval from the past. That's very uncomfortable for some energies. But again, it's all projection. It's not even worth being provoked by. It's not. That's the thing. And that's the biggest weapon in any enemy's arsenal right now, is to project and to make you respond, react, and really overreact to the reality that they want you to assume for yourself. That doesn't mean that you have to. And it's certain, Jesus. The devil card, no wonder. This is what we're dealing with. Like I said, psychic attacks. There's some energies that just can't stand the sheer thought of you standing your ground on anything that you believe in for yourself. So they're charged just by way of lower vibrational possession. At this point, it's like autopilot, I think. Like they couldn't really help themselves if they tried. At this point, it's like they gotta get it out of their system to try to be able to destroy you. And a lot of it has been because of this full moon energy, like really trying to take advantage of this time, because this is also Saturn, Capricorn energy. It's like it couldn't be helped but to try to take advantage of this lunation for all the dark that, you know, it could afford, or that could be expelled from it. But I mean, I've been saying since the last Capricorn full moon, but ain't nobody hear me, I guess, that this was not the energy for that. Because what this is really is this advance running into a power that they didn't even know you possessed, and it ultimately overturning their chariot. That's what this has come down to. thinking that this was just you here still, the little old page, just easily intrigued and distracted by any old thing. still green as well to your own energetic prowess. That's what they thought, or at least that's what they wanted to think. But this is the reality, because as I said in the beginning, it's like somebody was already positioned in defense. And that's all you need. Even with the Ace of Wands being a proactive energy, an assertive energy, like you don't need to flex for anyone or anything. All you have to do is establish your ground, stand on it, and affirm it for yourself. The best the enemy can do is to try to impress upon you that you shouldn't stand there. It's not safe for you to stand there, or you don't belong there. You're not authorized to be there. You don't have the skills to stand in that place. You don't have the protection to hold that ground. You're in danger. You're gonna lose everything. Like to project to you some type of fight or flight reaction, or provoke you to some type of fight or flight reaction when you ain't got a fight or flight. You just stand, in the words of Donnie McClurkin, okay? Shoot. You don't have to go anywhere but where you are in this moment until you feel inclined to do so, but certainly not on account of being bullied otherwise. Like, that's where they got the game messed up. Some energies you literally try to use this full moon lunation to bully people, like manhandle them out of position, out of confidence, out of security, of which they've earned. They've earned the right to stand bold and proud of what they've accomplished, of who they've become, of what they do. And like, how dare you? How dare you? It could only be an authorization from this energy, like just possessed and out of order, to say the least. And this is the carrot that was dangled as a reward for those that would ultimately take the challenge, or agree to this contract, take on this charge, or this, I don't know what the hell it is that they felt provoked to do, but it's like, damn, sure wish some folks would have listened. This could be quite literally a car accident with the Chariot card here. Somebody that could have been on their way to come do something stupid, en route, in transit. And here they are now on the side of the road, flipped over or some stupid stuff. Now thinking about, maybe life flashing before their eyes, thinking about the times when they actually had it good. Thinking about, reminiscing on where it all changed, or where it all went wrong, or where they could have made a different choice. That's what it is. So this literally could be the demise of aggressors and violators coming, turning over on their heads. It may not just be a car accident, but they've been lured into this, and certainly doesn't take any responsibility off of anyone. But I'm just saying, for all intents and purposes, they were seduced into this agreement with all the will to say no or to breach whatever contract they signed for, they made in spirit and in truth. And now it's like their whole lives are being turned upside down on account of this insistence to I was going to say, it's not procure, but to seize a power that they don't have possession of. And where they couldn't do that, because that was pretty much doomed from the start, to try to disable the power of others that have rightfully earned that commodity. Like I was going to say, the chariot doesn't necessarily have to be like a car accident, but it's something tragic. It's something tragic now that I'm looking at it like this. Where somebody can't even, now they don't even really have the power to be activated the way that they were. Or that's the fate. Like I said, we still in these vibes. So if this ain't that yet, then here's the spirit giving yet another gracious warning that it's inevitable. Okay, I done said what I said now. The high priestess. I forgot to see what was, oh no, I saw what was on the bottom. The damn devil. That's what was on the bottom. Trying to make me forget he was there yet again. Oh, Lordy. That has significance. So it's like that devil energy just, what is that? It's like allured people into this trap, and then like backed away. Oh, you know what it is? It's whatever this possession is, or where people are clearly just not, or maybe haven't been for a while, operating in their right mind. You know, they've been exclusively devout to their primal nature, in the nicest way to put it, but something to me much darker and more sinister than that, to go to these lengths. Whatever this impact may be that appears to be quite unfavorable, it seems like it's going to like turn the lights on for people, like to almost wake them up from, and that's why there's this reminiscence, because it's almost like waking them up from their zombie slumber or something, like almost the situation itself becomes like an exorcism to some degree, where people are awakened to their presence, you know, like, damn, like imagine you wake up and you in a ditch upside down, God forbid, right? You're like, shit, you know what I mean? Like, this really just happened. You're alert, quite aware, probably a great deal banged up and bruised up, maybe even a bit disabled from getting yourself out of that jam, but you're aware of how you got there. You're aware it's not an amnesia situation. Like, you're aware of exactly what happened to land you in that ditch. And it's like where you almost like wish, damn, you can almost revert back to, damn, if I would have slowed down, or if I would have not taken that turn, or if I would have stayed my ass home, or, you know, it's always something that when you get in, I was in a real well, it was a real bad accident in the sense that my car was total. All my airbags exploded, windows busted out, the car was done. Thankful, and it was on a really busy road coming off of a bridge, which is usually very busy, but for, miraculous reasons in that moment, there was no traffic. It was Thanksgiving time. I was coming home from college to over the bridge from school for Thanksgiving, more or less. But not Thanksgiving Day, it was just that holiday season. And completely crashed out. But when I thought about it, it was really because I was driving too fast on a road that could undoubtedly be slippery because a whole lot of trucks and stuff passed through there, in traffic back and forth across the bridge. And it had rained. So it was like that slickness of the road where it wasn't actively raining in that moment, but the road was wet. And I knew it was wet, and I was still driving too fast, So it's like when you have that moment of truth, like, damn, why not just slow down? Why was I going so fast? I was only going home. It was really no rush, Where was I even rushing off to? Nowhere, really. So it's that insight here. Oh, look at that, how it's lined up too. That makes all the sense in the world now. The cherry card, yeah, people coming completely online with their intuition. It's like every sensibility of their spiritual nature coming online in that instant, prayerfully to survive and carry out, beyond the impact. But certainly in that moment to be completely cognizant of exactly how this is all played out and exactly their role in it, their fault in it as well, but certainly their contribution or creativity of it, for sure, on top of the impact. So that's what I was getting when I was picking up, like the devil almost hiding itself, like backing up from the scene, like they weren't even here, because it almost seemed like what was I drunk? Like, why did I do that? What was I thinking? What was I, like I said, where was I rushing off to? Where was I that, it just was no reason for it, and I don't think about that so much anymore. It's just coming up right now. But in this moment, that's going to be the reflective spirit of those that have done, have committed themselves to diabolical agendas, even against themselves, if not against anyone else. But we know it don't usually stop there, right? But it could even be that crashing out on account of, just going against your own will, your own integrity, living a fast life, a lustful life, a very carnally primal driven life with less spirit resolution could absolutely bring you to a screeching halt, such as this with the Chariot. And then it's like they'll snap out of their possession in that instant, and it'll be I feel it so clear. It's weird, so clear that, because that's why I've been thinking lately, like, what is wrong with people? Are they really this possessed, out of their mind, this overrun by entities and even just possessed by the spirit of scarcity and fear and survival mode and all that? Like, even those can be possessions of your best senses, It's like, with so much evidence of the lack of productivity and prosperity, you would think that would be enough to inspire some new activity or a new outcome or new response or something. And it's just like no dice. For a long time it's been that way, but I don't think that's what it is anymore. Here they go again, the Three of Pentacles. Wow. The aggression. Yeah. I get like they're not gonna like the full perspective that they'll be privy to at that moment. I feel like it'll be quite I just heard crippling, Lord. I don't I think it'll be crippling psychologically, if not actually, but hopefully not actually, but psychologically, certainly materially, because can you imagine? But psychologically, it's crippling because, like I said, it's like it's almost like you having an accomplice through all of this stuff, i.e. the devil energy, some rhyme or reason that you submitted to, you know, that you decided was viable, you know, as to why you operated the way you did. And then it's almost like but have a physical accomplice, because this may be that, right? A physical accomplice, and then all of a sudden you come to, say you end up in the hospital after a crash out or something, and it's like, did my friend survive? Is my friend okay? And the doctors are looking at you crazy like, what? Your friend? What friend? Ooh, I just got chills. Like, there was nobody in the car but you, sir. There was nobody there, ma'am. We only found you. Was someone with you? Did they, and there's like no trace of there being anyone with them. Nothing. Like, oh, this just got creepy. Ugh. Now, practically speaking, it could play out like that, because I've been seeing this as collusion lately, and folks leaving selective accomplices out to pretty much take the rap, right? So it could be something like that, where somebody, quite actually speaking, is referring to all types of folks that don't even exist. What? Imagine that. This is just getting weird. That, oh my gosh, people that maybe practically speaking either were operating under aliases that are not even traceable now. Imagine like somebody getting pinched and they're trying to like really like, you know, snitch, blow the whistle, whatever, you know, tell, whatever you want to call it, but to save themselves or just to come clean. And they start rattling off all these references of people that were in, I'm getting The Usual Suspects, like that movie, but of course we know in the end it was really him that was doing all that. But he was talking about all these characters, and it's like they probably didn't even really exist, or if they did, it was because he was the first, you know. I kind of forget how that movie actually plays out, except for the end, but whether it was all a lie or, you know, a fabrication, or whether he was telling the story from the perspective of which he witnessed it, but because he was actually the one facilitating it. I can't remember. But either way, I'm getting, it could be something like that, but it could also be this sense of like, yes, it was so-and-so, and this one ran this operation, and I answered to this person, and this, you know, and they're rattling off all these people. And like the detective comes back and is like, we can't find anyone in that name, under that name. Do you have an address? They go to an address, nobody lives there, like it's wiped clean, deserted, no trace of any residents. Like something crazy like that. What? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And this could be the police, but inverted. So yeah, it could be like, hell, it could be some higher ups. I don't know. Let me just, let me move on, child, because this is getting weird. I can't even shuffle my cards, right? It's getting spooky. I love movies like that, low key though, where it's like hella twists and turns and the ending is like, what? That's what I'm getting here, something crazy like that. Wow, with the Magician, you saw how that came out. Well, I don't know if you did actually, but you should have. How it kind of flipped over in a bit of a struggle. This just took so many different turns. But yeah, somebody trying to manifest a solution. Trying to manifest power. Yeah, pardon me, but it's really giving manipulate. That's what it's really getting. Trying to manipulate power, which is in line with these other energies here. But it's like, how you gonna manipulate a situation? Somebody's got their work cut out for them, is what it comes down to. I honestly feel like, wow, exactly, when there's no evidence is what I was gonna say, to project. It's like what I'm saying, where somebody comes to and they're, shoot, they may even be inspired to talk, inspired to give up all the tape, but nothing's adding up. Nothing is, it's like poof, everything that they thought they knew was a lie. Everything that they submitted themselves to was some type of illusion or production or their own delusion because of the influence that they were under. It's like somebody may have even manipulated themselves, to some degree. And now they're being faced with the truth, like there's nobody in the car, or thinking that they got some police chiefs direct, like if you get in a jam, just say this name and you'll be good, you'll get out, or they'll come get me or whatever. And it's like, we don't have anyone here at this precinct by that name. Like something real freaky with the high priestess is definitely giving mystical. And this is like somebody that thought they had the ticket to really get themselves out of anything, but again, that was probably under a certain delusion or illusion of protection, thinking they had access to a certain power that it doesn't seem like they actually did. Damn, this is a whole nother situation here. Because what they stepped out on a limb on account of the protection that they thought was secured, even if it was back to the beginning of what they thought they could procure from other sources, other resources, i.e. even you, that they had a certain covering or a certain level of access or something. that they could, like something they could tap into, or what's the word, like seize, you know what I mean, like still, quite honestly, that would get them out of, like, be a get out of jail free card or something like that. And wow, hold on, one more. Ooh, as I say, get out of jail free. Good Lord have mercy. One way or another, this is the slammer, whether it's in spirit or in truth. The Eight of Swords is incarceration, disempowerment, Hold up. So somebody thought they was gonna scapegoat somebody else to take the fall. That's what they thought. They had a good flip-flop, some type of prison exchange or something, like they were gonna get away with this power and ultimately disempower someone else. But it could even literally be practically incriminate someone in some way to captivate them. This is what they were manifesting. That's what was in place here. And it could have been from a spiritual, like a mystical perspective, but also a very natural one as well when we talk about the Chariot. But the High Priestess is definitely tipping me off to some type of spiritual entanglement. I don't even know exactly how that gets to look. Defaming. I don't even want to get into that, because I actually am getting some downloads about that. But honestly, I don't even think it matters, because the way someone wanted to imprison someone else is ultimately what they're manifesting for themselves. They already have. They're stuck, like I said, hanging upside down, either already incarcerated or detained, or very much so in a jam. Because whatever it is that they thought they had power and access and authority and influence to transcend, they're finding out that they don't. It was all an illusion. That there's no secret password, there's nobody, no people set in places to protect their freedom or assure their freedom. The accomplices that they may have colluded with, or partners that they aligned with, have completely disappeared into thin air, at least as far as they're concerned, their defense is concerned. There's no one. They are vulnerable and may not even have the proper defenses to withstand against this level of attack, because it's all spiritually admissible. It's not even like unjustified. Oh my God. Judgment. Oh my goodness, with the Eight of Wands, this is swift judgment and justice. Damn. And the backfire, as I said, like the backlash of whatever it is they already manifested. However they victimized others or put people in compromising positions, vulnerable positions, took liberties over took liberties with their leverage, ultimately, is what I'm sensing. All of that is being judged and sentenced. This is swift. And it's like, we don't know what you're talking about. We don't, like, somebody, it's like going from a stagnant investigation where, okay, we'll look into everything that you're telling us, or we're going to look into those characters, or we'll do some investigation, blah, 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 to, it's like somebody going quickly from the victim to the number one suspect in a blink. Like, where they pretty much set themselves up at least to be unaware. Maybe they've been incriminated, or they've been implicated in something, but they would have had leverage otherwise to at least, like, distance themselves from the guilt. But what they have to offer that would be productive in doing that, efficient or whatever, like, that would actually do that, is untraceable or something. It's something weird about that. It's something with that. And it's all, like I said, it's all karmic, it's all just. When the judgment card is here, it's just making right what's been wrong. What now needs to come to a settlement universally. And with the Eight of Wands, it's like a very quick turnaround. No time to even get your bearings straight. It's like before somebody's head would spin before they realize that they're actually being charged for all the crimes of which they may have had other accomplices to do them, of which some may not even be all theirs. You know what I mean? Like, they may not it may not be all of them of what they're being charged for, but it's like somehow all of it, because karma comes back in strange ways. A lot of times, what people get pinched for is not even exactly what they're even guilty of. It's something they get clinched for something that they already did, that they may have gotten away with or thought they got away with. And then it'll be the thing that you actually are innocent of, or you actually were a victim of, or actually were, unaware or ignorant or blind or charmed or something, that be the thing that would ultimately, serve you your just due. And that would be the gotcha, because it's like, I'm in here for something that I actually didn't do. Meanwhile, there's a long laundry list of things that you could have got caught for and you never did. But that's just how it works when you least expect it. But it's no less just. It's perfectly just. Spirit is just petty as hell sometimes. which is why we got to be on our P's and Q's. Because you don't want the wrath of that petty spirit. They say she's a bitch and it ain't, you know. I think she don't mind. I don't think she mind. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. This was something. This is something. How it started is not how it ended, and I think there's something significant in that as well. That maybe the intentions that somebody started out on, maybe they weren't even all that diabolical, you know, maybe they became corrupted, you know, somewhere along the lines, especially when we had the devil in the mix. But as I've said, it's like, especially with judgment here, we're all accountable for, that's answering for your actions. And also calls in the reflection of your actions as well, personally. It's that moment of truth where you know, finally reckon for what you've created. And there's nothing that, you know, there's really no way around it, you know. It's like you have to kind of face it. Well, anyway, all right, I'm gonna leave it. All right, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.